Effect control gives you the option for you to edit the property of a media file. So this is a video I shot in Takoradi for a documentary, Takoradi Kwesimintim. So you can see, as far as I've selected this video, you can see majority of the things on the interface is active and is running, including our effect control. That tells you that anytime you want to do anything with a tool in Adobe Premiere Pro, you have to make sure you've selected something, either on your timeline or in your project tab. So now let me deselect this, and you see my effect control is gone. The same way we switch on the essential sound from our Windows tab, that's the same way if you can't see your effect control, based on the workspace you are in, you can be able to switch effect control on. So now we are going to select this video, and we can see effect control has to do with two aspects, video and audio. If the video you have or the file you have on your timeline is only video, you are going to see just video section of your effect control. So you can see we have video and audio because the file we have on the timeline have an audio. So if I hit play, you see that my audio bar is moving. So that means I have the properties of the visual and then the properties of the audio. That's the sound aspect as well. So the purpose of effect control allow you to change the position of your video file, rotate your video file, brighten it with opacity, or you zoom in and zoom out. So let's open the video tab or the video property of our file. So you can see position. We have the X and the Y axis. I know this mathematics, but we have it in editing. And even if you are doing After Effects, you do formulas. So let's manage this. So with position, you have your X axis. So you can see it's moving on the X axis. And then we have the Y axis as well. It's moving on the Y axis. So that's how you can move your video in a way that will let you meet whatever target you want to meet in terms of editing your video. The scale has to do with the zoom in and the zoom out of your video file. So you can zoom in, you can zoom out, and that's the purpose of the scale. And it's part of the effect control. Rotation, if you want to rotate your video, you want to rotate it 70 degrees, it gives you this, but I'm going to be on 0.0 degrees. The anchor point makes you move your video on a particular point. So it's the same as the position X and Y axis because it's moving on the same line, and then it meets at the 0 point on our X and Y axis. I'm sorry I'm going mathematics, but that's it for you. The opacity has to do with the brightness and then the darkness of your video. You can blend it, you can add two videos, especially the videos you watch at church service. So the lead singer is singing and then the choir video will be in between. They use opacity. So they overlay another video and then they use opacity to decrease the one on top of it, and then it will blend together. So that's purposely what you can do with the effect control. Aside that, you can also set a keyframe. So keyframe allow you as an editor to set a zoom in or zoom out, to rotate and to do that. So the small animation you see a video file doing, you can do the same here with this effect control. So all that you need to do is we are going to work on our scale. So now I'm going to select this. So as soon as I select the clock sign beside the scale or any of them, it creates a keyframe for you here. So here is more or less like a mini timeline for you, a mini timeline, and that mini timeline is the same timeline we have here. So you can see if I move, it's still moving. So it's the same length of a timeline you have here and the length of the video we selected. So now my video is by default this size, and then I want to zoom in a bit when I get to this point. So I'll increase the scale a bit. So now let's see what we have. Let's see what you have. So you can see our video is zooming in a bit. You can see our video is zooming in, and then as soon as we get to that point, you can see it's zooming in, zooming in, zooming in, and then we have a zoom in shot. So that's how you can add small effects to your video. You can see this video is shaking. In the course of our training, I'll teach you how you can stabilize your video from it not to shake, and you will get a smooth moving video. So it's all going to be part of the editing lesson as well. So we are going to have a lengthy editing lesson of what we've learned, putting it in practical form as well. So I may not be explaining it, I'll be editing as time goes on, and then you have to recall some of the things I taught in teaching how to use the effect control and any of the tools and all the sections we had before we had this editing training. So basically that's it. That's the same way you can increase and decrease the brightness of your video using the opacity. You switch on the brightness at 100%, and then you move, and then you switch it maybe below, and then when we move, we play our video, you can see our video is going back to dark, and then it's going to maintain till we get to the end. So basically that's what the effect control can do for the visual aspect. The audio aspect has to do with you editing the audio that comes with the video. So you can add effects. If you add an effect, so let's go to effects. You can see it beside the project tab. So there's this effect, the reverb. It helps you to remove echo when you record an audio and there's echo in the audio. You'll be able to edit the echo. So in case I have something like that, I have to search for the name, or you go through and see noise reduction or restoration and see which one you want to use. You apply it on the audio section, and then you see that effect here at the audio property of that video file. So when you see it there, you can edit, increase it from 40 to maybe 60, and then it will remove majority of those audio for you. So you look at that as well, and then as time goes on, you also learn how to do some of these things to make work easier for you as an editor. So you can add as many as you want here, and in the other lessons you know how some of the effects you do, especially using some tools like Lumetric Color can also be here. Essential graphics will also be part of the properties, because the properties is more or less like the features of that video file you selected on your timeline.